last week's episode, we talked about the several basic different types of resumes you can create depending on your personal circumstances, namely functional, combination, or targeted resume formats. And let's not forget the ever handy-dandy mini resume that you should have available at all times to use for networking or in a pinch. Now that you've chosen the format or formats that are right for you, your next vital consideration with regards to your resume is its appearance. Remember, your resume is your ultimate calling card and precedes you at any interview. If you were interviewing, you wouldn't hire someone who showed up for an interview in a crumpled shirt that they pulled from last week's undone laundry hamper, now would you? Certainly not. Once again, the appearance of your resume says volumes about you even before you walk in the door. It's like your emissary or agent, and it's your ultimate professional calling card. If your resume is sloppy, it's the first thing anyone notices. And if it's sloppy, an interviewer will assume that you are too, as well as your company and the way you work. Definitely not a good first impression. Here are a few tips. The quality of paper your resume is printed on is important. It should not be printed on white stock. Instead, choose an off gray or a light buff to help differentiate it from others. If your printer is mediocre, by all means, invest the pennies it costs to take it to a print shop. It's important that the res reviewer be able to actually read what's printed on your resume easily and not be thinking in their mind about what a horrible print copy it is they're holding. Choose an easy on the eye font. Chiller, though great for Halloween, is not going to get the type of attention you're after. A good rule to follow is that resume fonts should be serif or sans serif fonts such as Arial or Times New Roman, and no smaller than 11 points or larger than 12 points. Ensure the layout is properly arranged. If in doubt, check some online sources for guidelines. The internet is ripe to bursting with this kind of detailed information, which makes it even more unforgivable if someone ignores the opportunity to take advantage of it and makes silly, commonplace mistakes. After all, I know you have a computer and I know you know how to use it. This is definitely one occasion where you should. Here's another tip. Make proper use of white space. It's like the silence between notes in music. Without the proper balance of silence, music is reduced to nothing more than noise. And always use your spell checker. Never assume your spelling is correct, and always read and reread before printing. You may have wanted to write the word an, A-N, and wrote on instead. Spell checker won't catch that kind of a typo. Some things still require a human eye and intellect to detect. Last but not least, check your punctuation. There's nothing worse than a runaway sentence that could have been bridled by the occasional colon or semicolon, and nothing more irritating than unnecessary punctuation that obscures the flow of language in any kind of document. In short, be thorough. Leave no stone unturned, no turn of phrase benign. A word to you very welcome new Canadians. If English isn't your first language, welcome to a whole new world. Languages have a life of their own. Thought constructs, syntax, and exact meaning will, I guarantee you, differ tremendously from your native tongue. If this is the case, I urge you most wholeheartedly to engage the assistance of a native North American for the purpose of proofing your resume. But choose wisely. You'll want an English grad over your next-door neighbor who may or may not have finished high school. A co-worker is your best bet, preferably one who is well acquainted with your particular line of work and won't be overwhelmed by your specific type of business jargon. Remember, you're trusting them with your professional calling card, your professional face meant for the job screener at the gate. You want to make sure you get beyond them, through the gate, and on to your next challenge, the interview. But first, what to do next?